yo, when me start, me look good, you sound good from far. Anytime me listen to your bars, it's apart. Talk about you, boss, gone it's a lot. But them let you in Canada. Big time lies on the big time tracks. Spinning bird kick to your lip, to your jaw. Don't try me, my youth, I'm a boss. To me look like cute, just because. Sit on the rhythm, and me sit on in the walk. You a victim when me driving on me car. Don't sky ice and your hoodie to the stars. Look on the mic, pull up a water. Run off your mouth, kill off the data. Serious thing, not time for laughter. You a black sheep, I call your barber. You a black sheep, I call your barber. You a black sheep, I call your barber. You a black.
Only thing difference between Dominican people and Haitian people were the people who put the fence up between the trees that they used to pass to each other.
A lot. Dominicans are bad at it though. They say that they're not black when they're pitch black.
Yeah, I'm from New York. There were sisters dark, but they had curly hair, and they said they were Dominican, and they wouldn't consider themselves black, and they looked just like the Jamaican females.
It's
but
sad.
It's programming. Like I said, it's programming.
Yeah.
It's like I said, they lied to us in school. We went in classes and learned all this fucking bullshit, and it was all wrong. It was gimmick, you know. But now people are starting to become aware. Now people are having the conversation. And there's some people who are stuck that don't want to move because they're content with being stuck, and there's some people who's waking up like, I'm letting go of this bullshit because it doesn't belong to me, and it's not worth nothing to me.
It's not conducive to your life. I know. Just fucking stressful. It's no point. Yeah. I'm yeah, again, Mr. TY. I'm with you.
I got you.
Yeah. Fully fucking with you. I am fully with you. And there's my Spanish, mi cariño. Yeah, tú sabes. Hablo español muy bien. Gracias.
De nada.
De nada. No hay problema.
Mucho pica. Mucho pica.
Sí.
That's you. It's all that spice. You know what I'm saying? The spice.
Caliente.
You mentioned the Caribbean, the Spanish.
Yeah, everything.
It's not mixed up. It's like it's what makes you flavorable. You know what I'm saying?
That's why I'm a volcano, TY. Hey. Yeah, that's why I'm a volcano. Everything has to erupt. I'm like, it's my DNA. That's why I'm made to be in boxing, to be honest. It's the right sport where I can just be like, oh, fuck this, fuck that, fuck this, fuck off.
Top 3 favorite boxers of all time. Top 3.
I definitely Muhammad Ali, without saying. I want to go Tyson, Mike Tyson, and I would go with because I got top 5. I'll put George. I like George Foreman. That's it. Top 3. I could mix the 2 and 3 around. Number 1 always stays Ali though.
I'm going Tyson, Mayweather, and Holyfield. No, not Holyfield. Okay. Hopkins, but not Hopkins. So Tyson, Mayweather, Hopkins are my top 3.
Bernard Hopkins. When I saw him, like, I looked at it the other day when he got punched out of the fucking ring. That was just hilarious. Sorry, Bernard, but that was wild. But see who you've mentioned, they're in my top. But they are in my top of all time. But they would be like in my top 10. If you're just saying boxers of all time, and it doesn't mean it has to be in a division, like Joe Calzaghe's in my top 10 all day. Floyd Mayweather, I did a show dedicated to Floyd Mayweather. Those who don't know, I adore him. I love him. Go. In my top 10. Mike Tyson in my top 10. Lennox Lewis is even in my top 10. He's like number 10, but he's in there. Like, yeah. Joe Frazier is in my top 10. Definitely. Even, would I say even like go to as deep as a Michael Moorer, Spinks. Like, there's people that it's so solid, like that the era before. Like, it's hard to just put everyone in it because it's so certified. These heavyweights now, Tyson Fury, Anthony Joshua, Wilder, Dillian White, they would never be good in the last era that we came from. No way. They'd all get beat up, in my opinion.
They would get beat up because there'd be less belts and they would have to fight more fighters.
No, they're just not good enough. They're not good enough on that level in the old school. They're not good enough. They're not good enough. Could you imagine Anthony Joshua fighting fucking George Foreman? he'd be fucked. Ruiz fucked him up. What do you think George Foreman would have done to him? George Foreman would have buried him. You know?
Foreman
Evander Holyfield's in my top too. Evander Holyfield come from cruiserweight to fucking. That's why I put him in. I put him in one of my all-time pound for pound lists. He's in it, Evander Holyfield, all day long. I had a friend the other day said he didn't even know that Evander Holyfield was a cruiserweight because he just didn't. It was so celebrated at him at heavyweight and his achievements that like more casual fans didn't realize that he actually came from cruiserweight, you know. And I thought that was wild. I thought everybody knew that. But I love Evander.
I recently met Holyfield. Good brother, man. He's one of my top 10 as well.
Yeah,
I do sports photography out here as well.
Yeah,
sports. Yeah, mixed martial arts and boxing, and I do some basketball as well.
Really, I've got a little coaching.
Yeah, I got to be.
Basketball. Yeah, go ahead. Sorry. Go ahead.
No, that was it. No, I just said
okay.
Yeah, I do a lot of sports photography as well.
I'd like to see.
Oh yeah, check me out. Check me out.
Where can people let people know where they can actually fight? You've got your own channel?
Yes. Actually, I have a website.
Sorry. Yeah, I need
that's
to
all right.
Sorry.
Yeah. Look for Zaire Photography. It actually has 2 pages. But Zaire Photography. It should be a few videos on there. But Zaire is spelled like fire with the letter Z. ZIRE photography.com.
ZIRE photography.com.
Yes, that's me. Independent media company. I work in commercial, traditional portraits, and I do a lot of advertising and event photography as well.
Gonna come take some pictures of Lady C.
Oh man, I'd be honored, man. I'm already having ideas.
I bet you are.
Don't start. All right now. All right. Ding, 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 ding.
Ding, ding. We'll bring that on to the other panel. This panel's so UK'd out. They're right now, everybody's minds don't even know, like, what the fuck? They don't know what's going on right now, Mr. TY. We'll bring it on to H's. We do our fuckeries over there. They don't get it here. They don't get it. Trust me. That's why I be on you guys' panels. Don't you see the confliction? I'm mixed of everything. Grew up in New York, Latina, fucking Jamaican, fucking British. It's a hard life, but I tend to like you guys' panels more than ours, to be fair.
So where are you? Tell me about where you're from now and what's going on out there.
Okay, so I came from music. I was an artist. Well, I still am an artist. I toured. I was lucky that I scored. I had like 2 hit songs independently, and then I got a record deal for those songs, and I toured around the world. That was going back from 2010. Toured around the world. I've been to the only places that I haven't been to is Africa. So I've been to Australia twice. I had tours there. I've been to Brazil, loved it. I've been to everywhere in Europe, everywhere in like Norway, Denmark, Sweden, Finland, Estonia. Any country that you want to mention, I've probably been there by the grace of God's side.
Wow.
And then and that's what I do. And I then open up my own little label. When I want to release music, I do. I released something like last October. We had lockdowns happened, so I've just been chilling. And within the lockdown, I just really got into my boxing bag and love boxing. Grew up with boxing. My dad loved Muhammad Ali. My stepdad loved Mike Tyson. So it's just something that, And then where I lived near when they built the Olympic Stadium. Then as an artist, they invited me there, and I, they had like functions and we sponsored, and also I'm sponsored by Adidas. You call it Adidas, we call it Adidas. So you may see me wear a lot of Adidas. I've been sponsored from them since 2004. And that's it. Yeah, that's me, Lady Shan.
Wow, you're a superhero.
I need
definitely a lot more to you than meets the eye.
I need a superhero. I'm fed up of looking after everybody and nobody looks after me, to be fair. Yeah.
Interesting.
Very interesting.
Conversation.
Yeah, definitely. Top of top, yeah, that
So,
was one of my songs. See, someone who knows one of my songs.
If you can meet one female boxer or one female combat fighter, dead or alive, past or present, who would you like to meet?
So I don't know anything about combat, MMA, and all of that, so I wouldn't know. But if I could meet any female boxer, dead or alive, I'd have the pleasure to have some current ones on my show. But I would definitely love, because of the affiliation, obviously, with her dad, I'd love to meet Layla Ali and chop it up with her and speak to her about her and speak to her about her dad as their relationship, not within boxing. Was it a good thing? Did the boxing tear him away from her? And then I want to see her, how she felt. I would love to ask her, what was the weaknesses that now that she was a boxer, looking at your dad, did you ever see stuff that your dad that was a bit weak? Dad had a weakness there. There was a chink in his armor there, but maybe nobody else knew. I'd like to answer things like that.
Interesting. I pray that she finds and hears this video.
That would be good. Make it go viral. That'd be good. Yeah. No. Who would you guys? Lee? Who would you guys?
Oh. I need a bit more time, to be honest. I'm looking women's fighters.
Yeah.
And throw your top 3 in there too, Lee.
Women's fighters. I'd love to I'd love to talk to Claressa Shields.
Yeah.
I think she'll have stories with all of her amateur bouts, all of her smack talk. I'll just find it hilarious. I think, Claressa Shields definitely.
Yeah, it would be a good one. Would you not like to meet Layla Ali?
If I had a choice, I'd go for Shields.
Really?
If I had the choice, yeah. Because if I was going to meet an Ali, I'd rather meet the man himself.
Yeah, no,
Yeah.
but she looks like the man, but she's gorgeous. Obviously, he was a good-looking man, but she looks like her father, and she's gorgeous, and she's the closest thing that we have to her father. We don't really know the other children; they're not really all in as public figures as such. So yeah, I'd love to meet her, and she's a woman boxer. Claressa Shields, yeah, cool. Love to meet her, but I think that's an easier thing to be able to chop it up with Claressa Shields. I think at some point you may see her on my channel, to be fair. Yeah.
When Michael Jordan retired, I was one of the people that said he should have never came back. Claressa Shields called out Layla Ali. Should Layla Ali come back? Is that a good move or bad move, and why?
Well, this is the thing, because I saw all of that. I was following all of that quite closely, and I remember when Claressa Shields went on The Breakfast Club, but Claressa Shields gave Layla Ali nothing but props and saw her as like a big sister type of thing, and then all of a sudden Layla Ali, I don't know, she got a little bee in her bonnet and kind of switched and was like, "Oh, I'm the best like female fighter ever," and basically tried to kind of diminish maybe Claressa's accomplishments. Was it a good thing to do? I don't think so. As such an elder lady, you don't have to do that, man. Don't hate on the young cats, man. Let them do their thing. She's doing good for the sport. Whether you like her or not is whatever. It's up for debate. But would she come? And she said she needed a year. If I had a year, I'll get right back in shape, and then I'd come and I'd beat her. So what? Layla Ali fights at what? Layla Ali's a big girl, so she fights at 175, right? She'd have to come down to Shields fight. Shields is 168. So I'm sure Shields could make 175. Or I don't know if Layla Ali could come down to 168 and look healthy doing it. Maybe they'd have to do a little catch weight in there. But why not come back? Fucking hell, you saw fucking Mike Tyson come back with Roy Jones Jr. It was appalling. I hated it. I hated every little bit of it. But seeing that everyone else is coming back, De La Hoya, just come back. She may as well. There's no harm in it. That'd be a big fight. I'd pay for that fight to see Claressa Shields against Layla Ali. I'd rather see that than I like the Savannah Marshall thing, but that is a big PPV draw. Layla, I don't know who would win though. This is the thing. I can't cap and say I know exactly who would win. I absolutely don't. I don't know who would win.
Well, size you're looking at Ali, but youth and speed, you're looking at Shields. I mean, I'd have to say Shields because she's just a more current active fighter, and Layla didn't have the challenges. You know, if we're talking about the women's boxing isn't deep in those divisions now,
right?
There was less talent floating around then. So I think Layla Ali's walking into a whole load of trouble if she comes out of retirement and faces Claressa Shields. I think.
Would it be a big PPV draw though, guys?
It would only happen if it was on PPV. Whether we will be successful or I don't know, because I've got no idea what the appetite is in the States to see Layla Ali fight.
Well, ask Mr. TY. What would be what do you reckon?
Hey, repeat the question. I'm sorry, I had to step away for a second. I missed that.
Oh, sorry. I know you're at work and stuff. I know you're busy. Thanks for still coming through because I know you're busy. What do you think if Claressa Shields took Ali out of retirement? Who do you think would win, and would it be a big PPV draw out in the States?
I'm not too sure. You know, if Miss Ali is at a heavier weight and they did like a catch weight, you know,
yeah, that's what I said.
Weight's gonna probably be hard, right? Yeah, it'd probably be hard for Claressa, but it'll be a great exhibition. You know, I wouldn't think Ali would want to come back and continue to compete.
Yeah,
you
that's
know,
all.
But I personally wouldn't want to recommend it. You know, I think it'll be a safe fight. You know, I think Claressa will take it, but I definitely don't want to see Miss Ali get beat because Claressa gonna try to take heads off. You know what I'm saying? She's learning how to take heads off now, and I don't want to see Miss Ali go through that. You know, like with Jordan, he ain't got nothing to prove. Stay out of that. If anything, if she was to come back, she should go back and fight Ann Wolf. That's a fight I would support.
Oh, I think I see that. I've seen that fight. I saw even clips of that recently. I don't know where it was on, but it came up on my suggestions on YouTube, and I watched that. I watched clips of it, like highlights of that, and yeah, that was what I saw was a good. I can only talk for what I saw was a good fight, but what I saw was Layla tucking in, and then the other girl was like it looked pretty even. What was the outcome of it? Because I don't remember. Was it a draw? Was it a win by Layla or?
I don't know. I don't know if they ever fought. I think what I heard
wasn't who you're talking about.
Yeah, I think I heard Ann Wolf was coming up to the ranks and Layla retired just to avoid her.
She was fighting the other day. No, she wasn't fighting the other day. Sorry, it came up on my suggestions the other day, and she had this girl, Layla Ali. She had her on the back foot, punching her up, and then it kind of reversed, and the girl started to give her a little bit of a go. And it was literally, when I'm editing, and I saw it come up, and I clicked it, and I was like, whoa! I don't know why it came up in my suggestions, but that was an interesting highlights that I saw of that, and it made me realize again, because when Layla Ali was kind of really, really fighting in her peak, I was a bit younger, so I wasn't really watching everything that she did. But when I saw this, it reminded me how big she is, because Layla Ali, if I'm not mistaken, she's like 6 foot, right?
From what I'm seeing online, people are still calling it a fantasy fight. So I don't think they fought. Again, I think Ann Wolf, like I said, when Ann Wolf was coming up in the ranks, Layla retired and didn't give her a fight.
Yeah, so who I saw her give her a good run for the money, and then it switched. I couldn't tell you that. I just thought that was you describing that fight, but it was impressive in the highlights. But I don't know the Ann Wolf. I thought that was the fight, but maybe I need to. Yeah, I need to.
Ann Wolf is the trainer that used to, used to train Perkins.
Yeah. So guys in the chat, if you know the fight that I'm talking about, that Layla Ali, because I can see it in my mind of her. It was good. It was impressive. It was impressive, and I thought it looked pretty even. So if she came back, maybe fight whoever that woman was. I don't know, I'm not that clued up in women's boxing. I'm not going to lie. Fight Fan Figures is quite good at some of the women's boxing. I've just only kind of started to appreciate it a little bit more. Like, but this is what I'm saying. I'm a woman, but I'm not a feminist. If I prefer something that the men do, fuck it. I prefer something that the men do. That's what I'm saying. Not everybody has to be included in everything. I'm cool. I'm cool just to hang out.
What time is it out there?
Midnight.
Okay. All right. So
there you go. Where did he go? Okay, he's finished. Yeah, so that's what. If we want to wrap it up, it's been amazing. Lee, Fight Fan, do you want to say anything? I just want to go through some of these. Lady Shan, Duffy. I just wanted to see what.
Oh yeah, I do want to say, because what I was saying, I understood.
Hang on one sec, Lee, because Mr. TY is going to go. Mr.
Hey, thank you, Mr. Lee. Not to cut you off. Have a great day. Man, we're gonna catch up. I'm gonna holler at you, Mr. I'll see if I can send you an inbox.
Yeah, could you leave your stuff in my inbox?
Yes, indeed. I got you.
Good, King. Thank you. Salute.
Have a blessed evening, y'all.
You as well. See you as well. See you later.
Yeah, the only thing I did want to say before you left, when I was mentioning earlier on that I can understand why people wouldn't like all the top boxers, and I included Joshua in that. A few people were saying they can't see any reason, anything not to like about Joshua.
Yeah,
that is kind of the reason why people don't like him, because there is a suspicion that he's pretending to be somebody to be likable, and that the real Joshua is more like the smack talking rest of the other boxers that are out there.
Right.
And that's the reason why a lot of people, and if that is the case, for that reason, I would understand why people would have an issue with that. That was just something I wanted to clear up. I saw one or two comments on the chat, not understanding where I was coming from on that perspective.
Yeah. So just what I'm saying, so overall, people can rock with who they want to rock with. I have no problem. I did this show basically because I get a lot of people saying, why don't you like him? Why don't you like him? Why don't you like him? What's the reason? So without ever being able to come out of a reason, it just looks like you're just being like one of those little bitter loser haters. So I was just trying to offer the reasons why I'm not in full support. But if I'm operating from facts, he is the #1 heavyweight. He's a good boxer. He can pose definitely Anthony Joshua some ups and ups.
You had him as #1. I never knew you had him as #1.
Yeah, he's not. Yeah, because stats wise, he is the #1 boxer. But if I
was going to ask you, if he gets undisputed, would that change your opinion? But you've kind of answered already. He's already got his #1.
Yeah. So he's already #1. This is what I'm saying. So it's not biased.
But then saying that though, some of the other stuff you were saying though, if he gets undisputed, will that be enough for that to eradicate his resume and his not defending belts, your issues in that sense? Would that put all of that to bed?
It doesn't eradicate it in its entirety. It will solve the fact that, because I'm still of the mind frame that Fury will take these belts and vacate them and go. I don't think he'll stick around if he wins to defend them. I just don't. There's not enough big pay packet after he's got them from Anthony Joshua. There's no reason for him to really stick around and defend a load of belts. Like Kenny said, I think Fury's in it for he's not in it just for like legacy anymore. So it would, if he did defend the belts, I would love that. And obviously I'd be like, yo, you defended the belts. But yeah, I'd give him kudos for winning the belts and being undisputed, of course. But all the other things, I don't know, if he doesn't defend them, then no, I can't give him that. He's a title defender. Nah. But I'd have a bit more, and it doesn't negate his shit resume. His resume is still shit, but yeah, you're still #1. Don't have to have a great resume to be #1. That's the thing.
Even if he fights Joshua as well, you wouldn't raise him up on the list of resumes.
Well, I mean,
if he's got Joshua Wilder and Fury and Klitschko.
Yeah, that's a sick. Yeah, when you say it like that, that sounds fucking impressive. It is. It's not that it sounds impressive. It is impressive, to be fair. Yeah, I'd say, yeah, his resume would be like up there. That would definitely just be sky high. It would be the best resume, even though it's 4 champions, but it's those champions, it's big time. So yeah, he'd be the best resume as well, defo. See, Shani's not that bad, is she?
Look, it just shows how complex a character Tyson Fury is, and the more you look into him, the more complex and conflicted you can feel about some of the things he says and does.
Yeah,
he's just an interesting character. He's just really interesting.
Yeah, he is, but he just fucking gets on my nerves at times, and that's it, really. And yeah, because he's got a likability factor as well. Like, well, he has got he does some things that I'm just like, yeah, that's I do find that funny. But then he just does. Let's see what Nick's saying. There's nothing to dislike about Adrian, in my opinion. He never says hateful stuff or badmouth anyone. In it, the sorries, you know.
Or does he never say it out loud?
He just doesn't say it out loud, but that's a responsible public figure. Don't say your bullshit out loud then. Like, if you want to say stuff behind closed doors, who are we to try and... we're not the United Nations at people's house. Like, you can say anything at your house. Still wrong is wrong, right is right. But, I mean, you know, he probably does say a load of bullshit in his house.
All right, but Sham, if me and you were discussing this topic before...
Yeah.
And I wasn't representing my real views on here, you would see me a bit differently. I don't think you'd appreciate that.
No.
If I was only willing to say to you, you know, real thoughts on Tyson Fury in the background, and I wasn't willing to come up here publicly and say it. And I think that's
no, because there's depths. Like, I get. If we discuss something in private and then you come on here and you discuss it not to the level of how we discussed it in private, I probably know the reason why you've chosen to do it like that. As long as you've covered the surface and other people can kind of get, because we're in such a world and at a time where everyone's so fucking sensitive that if you did say maybe the stuff that maybe you would say in private on here, it would be flamed. So I'd understand why you wouldn't say it to that degree. But you said what you said. Like, you've been consistent. Like, yeah, super consistent.
Yeah, but then sorry, that's still saying within the spirit of your thinking. I think what Joshua gets accused of is saying against what he thinks in publicly. Do you get what I mean? It's different to say I'm going to tone down my views for the public to saying I'm going to present a different view to the public. And we go back down to the comment he made to, I forgot the guy's name.
Yeah,
a sparring partner. That, you know, if you're thinking that, but then you're playing the whole Anthony Joshua, everybody, you know, be humble, everybody's great, everybody's equal. But if that's not genuinely how you feel, I can see how that would annoy people by, you know, saying you're not being yourself, you're not being genuine.
I see that, because I do feel that he holds back a lot. But do you blame the guy?
No, look, listen, I think we've had this discussion before. Yeah. And I think you said that you've never done it and you've had a successful career. And I was saying, if somebody was going to pay me millions, if for example, I don't know, I disagreed with eating pork and somebody's going to pay me millions to sell bacon sandwiches, I might well take those millions and advertise those bacon sandwiches.
I know, see, that's mad, because I don't eat pork. And if someone tried to make me endorse pork for millions, it's fucked. I'd like to think I'd say, but it's a
lot of money, Sharon.
I know, I'd be like, my G, I don't eat pork, so can we just change it to turkey rashes? I'm with you all the way there. I know, I don't know why.
My point is, I've never had that decision to make.
Yeah, neither
so I feel a bit out of order to kind of slay somebody, because it's all well and good saying, oh, I would, but when you're talking the kind of millions that Joshua is being offered,
yeah,
I have to think to myself, that would be a consideration. You know, I've got a daughter and I'm going to have grandchildren one day.
Yeah.
And, you know, if those kind of decisions can set them up it will be a serious consideration.
I haven't been in that. I'm like you. I haven't been in that situation. To be fair, it's a nice situation to contend with.
Nice problems to have.
Nice problem to have, but I ain't had that problem. But it would be a fucking nice one. Like, give me a break. Yeah, it would be really nice to have that problem. But yeah, again, it's technical, man. Because like, really, I just don't want to like do race within boxing because I'm really not about that life. But it's so prevalent and so up front. I just thought I had to address it. Do you know what I mean? I felt that I had to address it, like, because it wasn't all sitting well with my own spirit. If you get what I mean, it just wasn't sitting well with my spirit not to talk about this. And personally, me and you, I've spoken to you about this, haven't I, Lee?
Yes.
Yeah, and like, do you know what I mean? So it's kind of a thing where, you know, it kind of grates on you. So I just thought, yeah, Shan, you just do a show. Some people are going to like it. Some people are going to loathe it. Some people are going to want to unsubscribe. I just can only be me, guys. Do you know what I mean?
Well, my thing is, at least you've given an explanation. People can either choose to rock with it or they can choose not to. Because without that, you're just left with speculation, isn't it? And, you know, you're just left with a general feeling that you don't like the guy.
Yeah.
And at least people know why.
Yeah, and I just all I did was let people know why. And I'm still down for the sport of boxing. My dislike for him doesn't overtake the sport of boxing. Like.
Look on the mic, pull up a water. Run off your mouth, kill off the data. Serious thing, not time for laughter. You a black sheep, go call your barber. 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 You a black sheep, go call your